Judy was the girl every woman in Lagos whispered about. At 30 years old, she lived like a queen. Her Instagram page, @JudyLocksLife, had 50,000 followers. Every day, she posted pictures of designer bags: Chanel, Gucci, Hermes, Louis Vuitton. Each bag cost more than a teacher's yearly salary. She drove a white Range Rover Sport that still had that new car smell. The interior was cream leather. The dashboard glowed blue at night. When she drove through Lekki, people turned to stare. Young girls took pictures. Goals, they commented under her posts. Her apartment was on the 10th floor of a luxury building in Lekki Phase 1. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed the Lagos skyline. Her furniture was imported from Italy: white leather couches, gold-framed mirrors, crystal chandeliers. Her bedroom had a California king-size bed with silk sheets. Her closet was bigger than most people's bedrooms, filled with designer shoes arranged by color. But Judy didn't work in any office. She had no business. She didn't sell hair or clothes online like she told people. Her money came from one source: Chief Adebayo Balogun. Chief Adebayo Balogun was 55 years old, a wealthy businessman who owned 3 hotels, 2 filling stations, and a construction company. He had a big belly that showed his wealth, a grey beard that showed his age, and a gold Rolex that showed his status. He was the kind of man people called Sir, even when he was wrong. Judy met Chief 2 years ago at a club in Victoria Island. She had worn a tight red dress that night. Chief sent a bottle of Moet to her table. By morning, she had a 500,000 naira alert on her phone and his number saved as My King. Since then, Chief had been her ATM machine. Rent, paid. Car, bought. Shopping trips to Dubai, funded. Hair, nails, lashes, bags, shoes, everything came from Chief Balogun's pocket. But there was one problem. Chief was married. His wife Titi lived in their house in Ikoyi with their 3 children. Titi was 45, a full-figured woman who had given Chief 25 years of her life. She had stood by him when he had nothing. She had prayed for him when his first business failed. She had given him 2 sons and a daughter. But Chief barely looked at her anymore. These days, his eyes were always on his phone, texting Judy. His body was always in meetings that lasted until midnight. His wallet was always empty at home but full for Judy. Judy's greed grows. For 2 years, Judy enjoyed being the side chick. But enjoyment was no longer enough. She wanted more. She wanted to be the wife. She was tired of hiding, tired of spending Christmas alone while Chief went home to Titi. Tired of Valentine's Days where she got gifts but not his presents. Tired of being the secret. Judy wanted the wedding ring. She wanted her name on those hotel documents. She wanted to be called Mrs. Balogun. She wanted Titi's place. One evening, she sat with her friend Kemi at a bar in Lekki. Kemi was also a side chick, living off a politician in Abuja. "Kemi, I'm tired," Judy said, sipping her champagne. "I want Chief to marry me. I want that wife gone." Kemi leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "You need to see Baba Ojo." "Who is that?" "A native doctor in Mushin. He is very powerful. He helped my friend Amara scatter her man's marriage. Now the man has built her a house in Lekki, and the wife is back in the village." Judy's eyes brightened. "Are you serious?" "Very serious. But his work is not cheapo, and you have to be strong. These things have consequences." Judy laughed. "Consequences? I beg, I didn't come to Lagos to suffer. Give me his number." That night, Judy couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about it. Magic, jazz, juju. She had always heard stories but never believed them. But what if they were real? What if she could actually make Chief forget Titi? What if she could become the only woman in his life? By morning, her mind was made up. 3 days later, Judy took a taxi to Mushin. She didn't drive her Range Rover. She didn't want anyone to recognize her. She wore a simple dress and sunglasses, her long wave tied in a bun. Mushin was nothing like Lekki. The roads were bad, full of potholes. The buildings were old and crowded together. Children played football in the streets. Women sold vegetables on the roadside. The air smelled like fried akara and open gutters. Judy felt uncomfortable. This was the kind of place she had left behind when she moved to Lekki Island. Baba Ojo's case was down a narrow street behind a mechanic workshop. The building was old with peeling paint and a rusty zinc roof. A red cloth hung over the entrance. Judy knocked. "Come in," a voice called from inside. She pushed aside the cloth and entered. The room was dark and smelled like burnt feathers and bitter herbs. Candles flickered everywhere, on the floor, on shelves, on clay pots. The walls were covered with strange drawings in white and red chalk. Animal skulls hung from the ceiling. Cowrie shells were scattered on a woven mat. In the center of the room sat Baba Ojo. He was a small, skinny man who looked about 60 years old. His skin was very dark, almost black. He had long dreadlocks with cowrie shells and beads woven into them. He wore only a red and black wrapper around his waist. His bare chest was covered in white chalk markings. His eyes were sharp and yellow, like a cat's. When he smiled, Judy saw he was missing several teeth. "Sit down," he said, pointing to a small stool across from him. Judy sat, her heart beating fast. The room felt heavy, like the air was pressing down on her. "You want something," Baba Ojo said. It wasn't a question. "Yes," Judy replied, trying to sound confident. "I want a man to love only me. I want him to forget his wife. I want to become the most important person in his life." Baba Ojo nodded slowly. He picked up a calabash filled with cowrie shells and began shaking it. He threw the shells on the mat and studied them carefully. "This man, he is wealthy." "Yes." "He is older than you." "Yes." "And his wife, she has been with him many years." 25 years. Baba Ojo looked up at Judy. "Breaking such a bond is not easy. It requires powerful medicine. Very powerful." "I don't care how powerful it is," Judy said. "I just want it done." "It will cost you." "How much?" 1 million naira, plus materials. Judy didn't hesitate. She had the money. Chief had just given her 1.5 million naira last week for a business investment. She opened her bag and brought out a thick envelope. "There's 1 million here. When do we start?" Baba Ojo counted the money slowly, licking his fingers as he flipped through the notes. Then he smiled that gap-toothed smile again. Baba Ojo stood and began gathering items from around the room. A black cloth, a clay pot, some dried herbs, a dead lizard, some palm oil, a white chicken that clucked nervously in the corner. "I need something from you," he said. "Your underwear, the one you are wearing now." Judy hesitated. "Why?" "It carries your essence, your energy. Don't ask questions, just give it to me." Judy went behind a cloth curtain and removed her underwear. She handed it to him, feeling exposed and vulnerable. Baba Ojo placed the underwear in the clay pot. He added the herbs, the lizard, and poured palm oil over everything. Then he grabbed the white chicken. Judy looked away, feeling sick. Baba Ojo began chanting in Yoruba. His voice got louder and deeper. The candles flickered wildly. The air grew colder. He dipped his fingers in the chicken's blood and drew a mark on Judy's forehead. "I need the man's name," he said. "Chief Adebayo Balogun." "And his wife's name?" "Titilayo Balogun. They call her Titi." Baba Ojo wrote both names on a piece of paper. He burnt the paper over a candle, letting the ashes fall into the pot. Then he covered the pot with a black cloth. "It is done," he said. "Within 2 weeks you will see changes. He will begin to forget her. He will think only of you. His love for you will grow stronger every day. But," he paused, looking directly into Judy's eyes, "remember this. Every power has a price. What you take from the spirit world will one day take from you. Do you understand?" Judy nodded, but she wasn't really listening. She was already imagining her new life as Mrs. Balogun. "I understand," she lied. Baba Ojo handed her a small black bottle. "Rub 3 drops of this oil on your body before you see him. Do this for 7 days. After that, throw the bottle into a river. Never speak of this to anyone." Judy took the bottle, paid for a taxi, and left Mushin. As she rode back to Lekki, she felt powerful, excited, untouchable. She didn't see the dark shadow that followed her taxi. Chief changes. The changes started exactly 2 weeks later, just like Baba Ojo promised. Chief began calling Judy every morning. "Good morning, Requiem," he would say. "Have you eaten? Do you need anything?" He started spending every weekend with her, Saturday and Sunday. He was at her apartment, claiming he had business trips to Titi. He bought Judy a second car, a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, matte black with red interior. "You need options," he said, dangling the keys in front of her. He rented her a shop in Lekki for 5 million naira a year. "Start any business you want," he told her. "I'll fund it fully." But most importantly, he started talking about leaving Titi. One night, lying in Judy's bed, Chief said something that made Judy's heart jump. "I'm tired of that woman," he muttered. 25 years, and what has she given me? Stress, nagging. I think I want a divorce. Judy tried to hide her smile. Are you sure, baby? That's a big decision. I'm sure. I want to be with you, Judy. Only you. You make me happy. You make me feel young again. Judy kissed him. I love you, Chief. I love you too, my queen. The jazz was working.
While Judy was celebrating, Titi was suffering. Chief no longer came home before midnight. Some nights, he didn't come home at all. When she called him, he was always in a meeting or on the road. His phone was always on silent. His wedding ring had disappeared from his finger. At family dinners, he barely spoke to her. He scrolled through his phone, smiling at messages Titi couldn't see. When she asked who he was texting, he would snap, "Business, is that a crime?" The children noticed too. "Mommy, why is Daddy always angry?" their youngest daughter, Temi, asked one evening. Titi forced a smile. "He's just stressed from work, my dear. Don't worry." But Titi was worried, very worried. She checked Chief's bank statements. Millions were leaving the account every month. She checked his car. It smelled like expensive women's perfume, not hers. She checked his shirts. They had lipstick stains. One Saturday afternoon, Titi broke down. She sat in her bedroom and cried for 3 hours straight. Her eyes were swollen. Her chest hurt. She felt like her world was ending. That's when her friend Bimpe came to visit. Bimpe was Titi's childhood friend, a prayer warrior in their church. She took one look at Titi and knew something was very wrong. "Titi, what's happening? Talk to me." Titi wiped her tears. "It's Bayo. He's changed. He doesn't love me anymore." "Changed how?" "He's never home. He doesn't touch me. He doesn't talk to me. I think he's cheating." Bimpe sighed. "Have you prayed about it?" "I've been praying for 3 months. Nothing is changing." Bimpe moved closer, lowering her voice. "Titi, listen to me. I'm going to tell you something, but you have to promise not to tell anyone." "I promise." "You know my neighbor, Alhaja Silifat. Her husband did the same thing. Started acting strange, stopped coming home, was sending all his money to a young girl. Alhaja prayed and fasted. Nothing worked. Then someone told her the girl had used jazz on her husband. Titi's eyes widened. "Jazz?" "Yes. So Alhaja went to see a powerful alpha in Ibadan. The alpha broke the charm. Within 2 months, the husband came back home and the side chick ran mad on the streets." Titi shook her head. "Bimpe, I don't believe in all that juju nonsense." "Titi, I'm a Christian too, but some battles are spiritual. Sometimes you need spiritual weapons. If someone has tied your husband with jazz, prayer alone may not be enough. You need someone powerful to untie him." Titi was silent for a long time. Everything in her believed in God, in prayer, in faith, but nothing was working. Chief was slipping away. She could feel it. "What's the alpha's name?" she finally asked. "Alpha Moritala. He lives in Ibadan. I'll send you his number." That night, Titi couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, thinking about what Bimpe said. Was it really jazz? Could someone really use dark powers to steal her husband? By morning, 2 days later, Titi took a bus to Ibadan. She told her children she was visiting her sister. She didn't tell Chief anything. He wouldn't have cared anyway. Alpha Moritala lived in a quiet area of Ibadan, in a simple house painted white. The compound was clean and peaceful. Arabic writings decorated the walls. There was a small mosque in the backyard. Titi knocked on the door. A young man, the Alpha's son, answered. "Good afternoon. I'm here to see Alpha Moritala." "Please come in. He's expecting you." "Expecting me?" Titi thought. "But I didn't tell him I was coming." She was led to a small prayer room. The floor was covered with prayer mats. Incense burned in the corner, filling the air with a sweet smell. Arabic calligraphy hung on the walls. A Quran rested on a wooden stand. In the center of the room sat Alpha Moritala. He was a small, thin man who looked about 70 years old. His skin was light brown, his beard long and completely white. He wore a white jalabia and a white kufi cap. Prayer beads hung from his hand. Despite his age, his eyes were sharp and clear. "Sit down, Titilayo," he said softly. Titi froze. How do you know my name?" The Alpha smiled gently. "Allah reveals what he wills. Sit. Tell me why you've come." Titi sat on the mat across from him. Her hands were shaking. "It's my husband, Chief Balogun. He's changed. He doesn't love me anymore. He's obsessed with another woman. I think she's used something on him." Alpha Moritala nodded slowly. "You are correct. Your husband is under a spell.
a powerful one. The woman has visited a native doctor. She has used dark magic to bind his mind and heart to her. Tears filled Titi's eyes. Can you help me? Can you break it? Yes, but you must understand something. When we fight darkness with light, the darkness will suffer. The woman who did this to your husband, she will pay a heavy price for her wickedness. Do you accept this? Titi didn't hesitate. Yes, she tried to destroy my marriage. She deserves whatever happens to her. Very well.
It happened 2 weeks after Titi visited the Alpha. It was a Saturday night. Chief had spent the whole day with Judy. They had gone shopping at the Palms, eaten lunch at a Chinese restaurant, and returned to her apartment in the evening. Judy had cooked jollof rice and chicken. They ate while watching a movie. Chief was laughing, relaxed, happy. The jazz was still working perfectly. He was completely devoted to her. Around 11 p.m., they went to her bedroom. The AC was on full blast. Soft R&B music played from her Bluetooth speaker. Scented candles flickered on the nightstand. The silk sheets were smooth and cool. Chief pulled Judy close, kissing her neck. She giggled, running her fingers through his grey hair. Then, suddenly, Judy felt something strange. A cold, slithering sensation between her thighs. She looked down and screamed. A snake, thick, black, and at least 4 feet long, was crawling out from between her legs. Its scales glistened in the candlelight. Its tongue flicked in and out. Its eyes were yellow and dead. Judy screamed again, jumping off the bed. The snake fell onto the silk sheets, hissing. Chief's eyes went wide with absolute terror. What is this? What kind of abomination is this? He scrambled backward, falling off the bed. His wrapper came loose. He grabbed his clothes, not even bothering to dress properly. Judy, you are a witch! A witch! No! Chief, please, I don't know what's happening. I swear I don't know. But Chief wasn't listening. He ran out of the bedroom, down the stairs, out of the apartment building. His car was parked outside. He jumped in and drove away, tires screeching. Judy stood in her bedroom, shaking and crying. The snake had disappeared, vanished as mysteriously as it appeared. What just happened? She whispered to herself. What just happened? For 3 days, Chief didn't answer Judy's calls. She called 50 times. She sent 100 text messages. Chief, please talk to me. It wasn't my fault. I love you. Please don't leave me. Nothing. No response. On the 4th day, she tried to call again. The phone didn't even ring. Just a message. The number you're calling is not available. He had blocked her. Judy felt panic rising in her chest. She drove to his office in Victoria Island. The security guard stopped her at the gate. Madam, Oga said you shouldn't come here again. Please, I just need to talk to him for 5 minutes. Madam, please leave before we call police. Judy drove to his house in Ikoyi. She parked across the street, watching the gate. After 2 hours, Chief's car drove out. She tried to follow him, but he saw her in his mirror and sped away. She was losing him. It happens again. 1 week later, Chief finally called. Judy! Chief! Oh my God, Chief! I've missed you so much. Please, let me explain. There's nothing to explain. I'm coming over tonight. We need to talk. Judy's heart soared. He was coming back. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Maybe everything would be okay. She spent the whole day preparing. She cleaned her apartment until it sparkled. She bought his favorite wine. She wore her sexiest lingerie, black lace from Agent Provocateur. Chief arrived at 9 p.m. He looked tired and reluctant, but he was there. They talked for an hour. Judy cried, apologized, begged. Chief softened. The jazz was still affecting him. He couldn't stay away from her for long. Okay, he finally said. Maybe it was just, I don't know, a strange coincidence. Yes, exactly. Just a weird thing that happened. They moved to the bedroom. Chief kissed her carefully, still nervous. Judy closed her eyes, praying nothing would go wrong. But the moment things became intimate, it happened again. This time, 2 snakes appeared, one black, one brown, both slithering out from between Judy's thighs. And that wasn't all. Judy's breasts began leaking milk, thick, white, sour-smelling milk that soaked through her expensive lingerie. Chief jumped back so hard he hit his head on the wall.
You are a demon, a marine spirit. Get away from me. He grabbed his clothes and ran. This time, Judy didn't even try to stop him. She just sat on the floor, covered in milk, watching the snakes disappear into the shadows, and screamed.
Rejected everywhere. Chief Balogun never spoke to Judy again. He blocked her on everything: phone, WhatsApp, Instagram, email. He told his driver to collect the car keys for both the Range Rover and the G-Wagon. When Judy refused to return them, he sent his lawyer with a letter: return the vehicles or face legal action for theft. Judy had no choice. She handed over both sets of keys. Watching the cars drive away felt like watching her life disappear. Without Chief's money, everything collapsed. Her rent was 8 million naira a year. She had only paid for 1 year, and that year was ending. Her landlord sent her a notice: pay or vacate. She couldn't pay. Her savings were almost gone. She had spent most of Chief's money on designer bags and shoes that she could never sell for the same price. The snakes kept coming. Every time she even thought about being intimate with a man, they appeared. And the milk. Her breasts leaked constantly, soaking through her clothes, smelling terrible. She went to hospitals: Reddington, Lagoon, St. Nicholas, Evercare. Each hospital ran tests: blood work, ultrasounds, MRIs, hormonal panels. Every single test came back normal. There's nothing physically wrong with you, the doctor said. We can't explain the symptoms. One doctor suggested she see a psychiatrist. Maybe it's psychosomatic, stress-induced hallucinations. But Judy knew the truth. This wasn't in her mind. This was real. This was spiritual. She went back to Mushin looking for Baba Ojo. She needed him to reverse the spell. But where she reached his street, his shop was gone. The door hung open on broken hinges. The room was empty. No candles, no pots, no mats, just dust and cobwebs. The mechanic next door told her that Baba disappeared 2 weeks ago. Nobody knows where he went. Some people say the spirits took him. Judy felt her world crumbling. She tried other babalao. She tried churches. She tried other alphas. Nobody could help her. Some ran away the moment she described her symptoms. Others told her bluntly, "This is beyond me. Whatever has been done to you is..." 3 months after Chief left, Judy was evicted from her apartment. The landlord came with police and court papers. They threw her belongings into the street. Judy stood on the Lekki street, surrounded by her designer bags and clothes, crying. Neighbors watched from their windows, whispering. The girl who once had everything now had nothing. She sold her bags and shoes for a fraction of what they cost. A Hermes Birkin bag that Chief bought for $15,000, she sold it for 200,000 naira. Her Gucci clothes, 50,000 naira. Everything gone for pennies. With the little money she made, she rented a small room in Surulere. No AC, no fancy furniture, just 4 walls and a ceiling. But even there, the torment continued. Snakes at night, milk during the day. She stopped eating, stopped bathing, stopped caring. She looked in the mirror one morning and didn't recognize herself. Her Brazilian weave was gone. She'd cut it all off because she couldn't afford to maintain it. Her face was sunken, her body was skeletal, her eyes were hollow. "I can't live like this," she whispered. That night, Judy made a decision. She packed a small bag with a few clothes. She counted her remaining money, 18,000 naira. Enough for a bus ticket. She was going home, back to her village in Ocean State, the place she had left 8 years ago, swearing she would never return, the place she used to call too local for her. Now, it was her only refuge. The next morning, she boarded a night bus at Ojota Motor Park. She wore a faded dress and covered her head with an old scarf. She looked nothing like at Judy Locke's life. As the bus drove away from Lagos, Judy looked back at the city lights one last time. The city that had given her everything had taken it all back and more. Judy's village was called Okeira, a small community in Ocean State. Dusty red roads, zinc-roofed houses, chickens and goats running freely. No designer stores, no luxury apartments, no Instagram lifestyle. When Judy arrived at her mother's compound, her mother, Mama Judy, didn't recognize her at first. "Who are you?" the old woman asked, squinting. "Mama, it's me, Judy." Mama Judy's hands flew to her mouth. "Ah, Oluwami, Judy? What happened to you? You look like a ghost." Judy collapsed into her mother's arms. "Mama, I'm dying. I'm dying." Mama Judy took her daughter inside. She tried everything she knew. She made herbal mixtures from bitter leaves and roots. She took Judy to the village herbalist. She took her to the White Garment Church on the hill. Nothing worked. The snakes still came. The milk still leaked. Judy grew weaker every day. The village people began to whisper. That girl brought city trouble to the village. She must have done something terrible. 1 month after Judy returned home, on a quiet Tuesday morning,
Mama Judy went to wake her daughter for breakfast. Judy was lying on her mat, still and cold. Her eyes were closed. Her chest wasn't moving. She was gone. Mama Judy screamed so loud the neighbors came running. When they prepared Judy's body for burial,
Only 3 people attended Judy's burial: her mother, her cousin Biodun, and her cousin Shade. No friends from Lagos, no Chief Balogun, no Instagram followers. The coffin was simple wood, made by the village carpenter. No gold handles, no silk lining, just plain wood and nails. They buried her in the village cemetery, next to her grandmother's grave. The red soil of Osun State swallowed her expensive life and her cheap death. Mama Judy cried until she had no tears left. She placed a simple wooden cross on the grave, no fancy headstone, just wood with her daughter's name carved roughly, Judith Ademola, 1995-2026. As the small group walked away from the grave, vultures circled overhead. The girl who wanted to be a queen died like a pauper. The girl who used darkness to get ahead was swallowed by that same darkness. The girl who thought she could cheat her way to the top learned that every shortcut has a price. In Lagos, Titi and Chief Balogun reconciled. He begged for her forgiveness, and she forgave him. He never knew what happened to Judy. He never asked. Baba Ojo, the native doctor, was never seen again. Some say the spirits he served dragged him to their world as payment. And in Oke-Ira village, on quiet nights, villagers say they still hear a woman crying near Judy's grave, forever trapped between this world and the next. The end. Thanks for watching. Do well to subscribe.